Hey, this week we're still talking of moms and men, and I loved hearing from so many of you last week because really on this topic, it's completely my opinion, it's completely my experience, and it's completely from my curiosity and some assumptions which may or may not be true for you. And so I'd love to hear more. Last week I brought up moms, working moms who want to demonstrate to their daughters that they can do it all by trying to pretend as if they can do it all when this is simply not possible. We can't mom and work and play a role in something that has to do with our children, say PTA or I don't know, any other thing of interest, and show up at all the sports events and then keep a clean home and cook or provide food, however we do that, 3 times a day for our families. And so in my observation of moms who try to do this to show their daughters they can be anything they want to be, not only are they crushing themselves, not crushing it, crushing themselves, but they're also creating a false narrative where if they were willing to do what I think is harder than all of that, they would be setting their children up for success, daughters and sons alike. And that is, in my opinion, one of the hardest things of all, even harder than everything I just conveyed to you, ask for help. As in, I can't do it all. You can't do it all. So how do we bring in what we need in the name of help to get it all done? And in that regard, we're able to show perhaps what it is like to be vulnerable, and that we can't do it all, and that when we ask for help, we're much more able to be present as the very super moms we want to be seen as, because we're not exhausted all the time, we're not stressed out all the time, and none of this is true for me because I'm not a mom. So I only share this with you from talking with many women trying to show up like superheroes. And when I ask them, as I mentioned last week, tell me what your husbands do to contribute. In these regards, the moms have said they're not able. Their schedule is such they're not able. Or their capacity is such they're not able. And I just think, wow, can you imagine what it would be like to only have to work and not do any other thing? It'd be pretty easy, I think. So that's my thinking about moms and of men. I think about a wonderful conversation with my dear friend John. And I was asking him, what do you guys talk about? I've asked my husband this as well. What do you guys talk about when you're together, being guys? And John said, boobs and football. Not kidding. He's not kidding. And I love John for this because we have the most real conversations. We're politically opposed. We're religiously different. All kinds of ways in which we're different. But I think John and I trust each other very much. And so we're able to have these amazing conversations. So that was his answer. And I'm like, well, who do you talk to about like what it's like to imagine not working and being fearful of being bored or without an identity? And John's like, that's never going to happen to me. But for other men, I know this is real. Who do you talk to about that? Wives are saying, my husband thinks I'm going to play with him when he retires, and I'm 100% not. And I think, who's he going to talk to then? Like, that to me is quite a real situation. My husband and I talk about this. Less so, though, because neither of us intend to stop working completely for a very long time. Cut back, work differently for sure, but not work at all is more time than either of us want. That's where we stand right now. I asked John, like, if sex was changing for you and your wife, and you weren't sure what to do about that situation, what would you do? I don't remember what he said. Did I even say it that directly? I might not have. I'm not sure I've ever brought up sex with John, but I have with my husband. Like, who do you guys talk to about that? Because we problem solve that situation on the girl's side like all the time. So I just wonder, besides wives, this is in a heterosexual relationship, obviously a heterosexual marriage. Men, who do you talk to? Because your wife is just one perspective, and her opinion is a great opinion, and it's not the only opinion. So that's what I've been thinking about this week on moms and men. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks.